Welcome everybody. Another geopolitical analysis video. Is the selling over? Is the liquidation, the margin calls, the leveraged plays being decimated by the markets over? Let's find out. So what do we have here? We have here the DXY. The DXY. Like I've been saying, the DXY is important to watch. It's important to watch because it is a fear trade. It is a fear trade not because all of a sudden the American dollar has become much stronger in its purchasing power. It's still fiat. It's still dump. Okay? We denominate things out of necessity because of the system. But it's the old system that we're moving into the new system that we need to be aware of. Right. What am I seeing here? This wedge may be a little bit aggressively drawn this way. But when I look at this, I look at these trend lines and I look how many times it has bounced here and hit down the support from the other trend line. What am I seeing here? Well, for starters, Monday set in an interesting topping candle. We've noticed that 110 is quite the resistance, okay? And 110 is an interesting play that, in my opinion, is signaling soon the reversal. Until, like I said, the dollar and the interest rates drop, you shouldn't be expecting a rally and you should be expecting temporary risk off. Now, the interest rates are sort of signaling the same thing. This seems to be a relative, like an interesting candle to observe. Okay, I'm not going to take out more than that. This looks like an interesting reversal candle as well. Yeah, it's not a topping tail, but I'm not going to make too much out of one candle. Okay, of course, I'm looking at, I think it's in the overbought zone. Every time it was in the overbought zone, it had some selling pressure to it. So let's see what's going to happen with the interest rates. But I do believe that if you look at the weekly here, I think that it has a lot of resistance in this area. So either we're done and we're coming down decisively, and we're going to know this in the next few days to a week or two, or we continue up, like I said, to the 5%. The problem is if this happens, something is going to start breaking. Something's going to start breaking, and we're almost in the cusp of that. You could see the SPY hit close to 5,000, and you could see a lot of stocks crumble. Now let's look at Bitcoin. What I really liked about Bitcoin today, I really enjoyed this movement today, was take out these lines. I really like this candle. This is a very attractive looking candle. Look at that. Okay, look at that. This is a candle that signals a reversal. Look at the buying pressure it had from the 89,000 mark up. Okay, let's look at the percentage here. Okay, let's move this guy here. Let's look at the percentage here. Yeah, that's over 6% in one day. Over 6% in one day. This is a very interesting buying pressure. I really like this. And for anybody who's new, the reason why this happened is because look at the support that it came into. You came into the support of these candles here. It was to be expected. It closed November here. The next month, The week of November 11th, it closed here. The week of the 18th, it started here, picked up here. So that means that 2 weeks were connected to this price line here. So that signals for the future sometimes support and perhaps resistance. This is very interesting. Today should be an inflection point for many, and I say this not because I'm just super bullish, but we've seen this happen before in Bitcoin, right? Like over here when we were seeing this consolidation period, this major bull flag, look at this. Look at this buying pressure. That was a signal that the reversal is close, and then it happened again, smaller degree. Okay. It happens many times throughout the bull market where you get this dump, okay, until we launch higher. It's necessary, super necessary. So this candle is a very interesting one. I'm paying attention to this one, and I think you should as well. Now, what's interesting about the VIX? I was interested last week in the VIX calls because I noticed that things were a little bit shaky with the dollar being so high and interest rates, but the VIX didn't spike that hard. The move that it made was stifled, and if we look at oil, sure, it moved higher, it gapped up, good move on oil. I think this region is a good shorting region. Natural gas came crashing down, but nothing too crazy. I told you a few weeks ago when natural gas was over here that this was a good buying opportunity. But something I want to observe is the absolute bloodbath of Mara. I like this candle. This candle mimics the Bitcoin candle. And if we could get a few of these, it could be an inflection point for higher. I do anticipate 30 to 34 in the next highest move. But overall, you should be accumulating here. I know Mara has been a pain in the butt. We know dilution hasn't been the issue. Major shorts has been the issue. But look, this region here, every time you bought this region here last year, you made a very good profit. This is a bit higher than this region here, which also, I'm sorry for this, but I just want to make it very evident that this region here is what propelled our stock much higher. And this region over here is a very important one because this is a higher high and a potential inflection point to send us much higher in this zone than this resistance level. Do you get the picture? You get the picture. Okay, I don't want to make too much out of my beautiful paintings, but we're hearing also that the reverse repo has been doing some funky things, shrinking that, and the balance sheet has been shrinking, but the money supply has been going up. I don't have the other money circulation, but China has been, look at China. China has been on a rise. Okay. Japan M2. Japan has been also in that situation. Bear with me. Japan has been in that situation where they're printing. It's just a matter of time when the US starts to and print. So my point here is expect higher. And this is not done. And I do think we're going to get this. This is like our landing pad. And I do think we're going much higher. Okay? So let's be patient. A lot of bullish news. A lot of interesting things in the markets. Yes, it's been a little bit choppy. the last few weeks, but that's necessary. And a lot of leverage longs got decimated, and these are the games of the whales in the markets. And you guys have to remember that it's a bumpy ride. And I'm leaving you with a bullish note. I think that we are close to seeing a reversal of the interest rates. I don't think we can see this keep going for the next few weeks. If you see this going to 5% and it hovers here and it consolidates, it's going to be a period of pain. So either hold on to your cash if you're going to buy more, if you haven't already, and observe this. If it keeps going up, if tomorrow we have another green day, for instance, and we go much higher and we close much higher than this, then forget everything I said about coming down. This means we're launching much higher, approaching the 5%. Okay? And same goes for the 30th. So we need to observe this because the liquidity shock is real and the cost of money is real. And until these are dropped, what I suspect is going on is something that is pro-Trump. Until his inauguration, we might see some pain. And then after his inauguration, it might be an event, a catalyst that really pushes the stock market higher and gives us the signal again that Trump is here for the economy, for a stronger stock market, and all these factors that will play into it. Of course, you're going to hear the narratives, the chatter in the media. That's what they do best. But I do believe that Trump is the selectee over here, and he's going to take rates much, much lower. So this is something that we need to observe in order to continue our liftoff situation. See, it's already green. This is a good situation. I'm liking this. I'm really liking this. I'm really liking this tail. It's a strong buying pressure. And if we would have closed below, then you would have expected lower. This could be just a bounce. But I'm still liking this. I'm still liking this tail. I haven't seen a tail like this since over here. Okay? This counts too. This is very good. This is showing buying pressure, and we should embrace it. That's all I got for you guys. Have a good night.